Today on Tees Time, we have a seat install, so grab a seat and enjoy. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Tees Time. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're gonna do our seat install and replace the old worn out seat with this new to me Recaro Ergo B. This right here. It's a little dirty. I need to clean it up, but it's still good. It has a mechanical suspension to kind of cushion the blow of all those rough rides. It does have the thigh extension, lumbar, of course, and then you can actually add air with this pump right here. It's reclinable. There's one missing knob. We have this knob, so I could change it because this is the side that you won't see. The other side you will see, and it does have like the quick release, like to extend that forward. And this also adjusts like the lumbar, like the area, like in or out. So it has that with the armrest. So it's pretty cool. Back is dirty, a little storage, and then also has the liquid cell. So the liquid cell is just like there's like the silicone padding that runs in the seat, the headrest and stuff like that, just so it makes it a more comfortable and also a cooler seat to sit in. So we have to figure out if we can mount this in that same location, because the only difference is just like the height. Like unless I want to get rid of like the suspension, which adds a little bit of weight, we have this as our base right here. So there's a slider right here, we can unbolt that. I do have like a little bit of adjustment for height wise, like if I want to drop this down. But then we also have to worry about our seat belts and still being able to have seat belts, because the other seat, the Recaro, doesn't have seat belts. So I don't know if I could probably actually use like these bolt holes right here or here and like take that slide out and somehow like make a seatbelt bracket. But we definitely need our seatbelt bracket to be installed. So we just have to figure out all of that. So I'm going to take the old seat out and just have everything like right next to each other, so that way we can kind of figure out, line up stuff, even like the base and the sliders themselves, if they'll like line up and match, or if I have to drill more holes. But it'll be easier just getting the old seat out. We're going to take that out, get everything like next to each other, and then we can also see like the comparison, like height, because like this height right here, and in my head what I'm thinking, since there is like some adjustment like right here, if you can see there's like a couple holes right here. If I drop this down as low as it could go and to drill like another hole, like probably somewhere, or that might be as low as it could go, and yeah, we'll figure that out. But let me remove the seat. Removal of the seat is 4 bolts. There's a bolt right there. Where's my little pointer? Right there. And the same on the other side. And then just move the slider up to expose the other bolt that's mounted like right there. Bolt right there and right there, and we should be able to get the seat out and expose the slide rail. And the reason why I'm replacing the seat is like, it's beat, it's worn. There's like no cushion really. There's no real support. It's just it's beat, it's ripping, so it needs to come out. And if you drive a lot, which I drive for money, a seat is very important. Like it'll beat your body up, like you don't really think about it, but like if you're putting hours in on the road, you definitely want a good seat. So we're gonna get rid of that since it needs to be replaced anyway with a good seat. So stay tuned, enjoy. We're removing the seat, get everything lined up and install. All right, that seat is out. As you can see, the foam on the bottom of the seat is deteriorating, it's falling apart. So yeah, so we're gonna just take this slider off, and this is the base that we have to actually like work with, just because the seat belts are attached to that, and this is like the main like frame for where like the seat actually like post that mounts. unless like I wanted to try to like re-drill like some new holes in the floor. But it all depends on like the height of the seat. Like I didn't really want to drill more holes into the floor and add more hardware, just because it's like it is a safety feature. Like it's already like Freightliner put thought into, or Utilimaster, the body that this is made out of, put thought into like the safety and just regulations for driving down the road. So I don't really want to drill new holes. I really want to just reuse this base somehow, whether I have to get rid of the suspension or keep the suspension. It all depends on how high it is, just because like there's this deck right here. It's not like flush like with the pedals like if you're like a regular vehicle. So we do have this dip to consider also, but I think I could make it work with this. We just have to figure out like seatbelt location, because seatbelt's right here. It's attached right there, and it's attached right there. And then we just have like this anchor part right here, which is safety. So we just have to actually figure out how to mount like two sides, and don't want like the seatbelt too low. Like it does have like a little height to it, but that's all the stuff we have to consider. So I'm gonna get these old sliders off, and then we do have multiple bolts that are already in the base. So I'm hoping like stuff will just line up. Yeah, that would be cool if stuff just lined up, but we shall see. I'm gonna get rid of these sliders, and we're gonna start comparing and just lining up stuff just to see how easy this is going to be. So yeah. All right, this is the height difference that we have between the two seats, from base to base. That's probably about 13-ish, 12 to 13, somewhere in there. So that's like a foot that we need to move the base if I wanted to keep that suspension down. So a foot is like here, like right down here. That's about a foot. That'll be pretty much sitting like right on top of like this base right here to drop that down. If we drop that down, we still should have room for like everything behind the seat, like without interfering. But yeah, let me actually pull this pin, because this is the adjustment that we have. So we pull this. Yeah. So it wouldn't be quite short enough. Yeah. In order to get this to work, like with the suspension part, I will have to take this piece right here, cut that flush, then take the actual like base part out and then cut it a little shorter so everything hangs out here, and then re-drill some holes going through to make sure we can still put like this the bolts and everything through. Yeah, because I do like the function of this, like this whole thing will tilt forward, so I want to keep that. So that actually, like you go like that, you press on that, and like this whole piece comes forward like so. While I think on that, let me see if these holes will mount up. Like some of these holes have to, hopefully should, but let me measure to see if we can actually get this the base mounted to this, if it's not like too like short or narrow. Yeah, let's measure that, and just to see. Well, I'm contemplating whether I feel like hacking that to pieces to get the suspension in. The ride's not that rough, and like there's a lot more cushion on the new seat compared to the old seat, so I'm not too sure whether it's worth saving like that extra like little bit of like cushion. I don't know, but let me measure those bolts to see if the base will actually even mount up before we even start to think about cutting things we don't need to, or we might not have to cut. So yeah. Okay, so as you can see, the seat is a little high. To get it to the right spot where I would need it, I would need to get this base like flush down, like pretty much like needs to be like sitting right on this plate right here. But as you can see, for like the structural integrity of it, there's not enough like room for that to happen, especially getting rid of the tilt. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the slider, like this is the base in the slider. I'm going to take that, which will drop it down. That's about 10 inches. So the seat, top of this part of the seat will be right here, which should be good. And then this also tilts, so we could adjust the seat like to get it perfectly how we want it. But like I don't have enough, and this is like on the lowest setting for the base. So like we still have like 3 holes of adjustment where we could raise that up. But like going down, that is as low as it could go, like unless I drill like more holes in the plate itself. But then you have to worry about clearance down below for all that mechanism goodness. It's like right there. So the best thing I could do, and then also like the seat is heavy and is mainly because of the suspension part, why it's so heavy. So if I get rid of that, it'll lighten the load a little bit, but there's just not enough room for that. If there was, then I'll make it work. But yeah, that's that's pretty high. So you have to drop that down, and getting rid of the suspension part should do that. So I'm gonna keep probably the suspension part for like, I don't know, just I'll hold on to it. Just who knows what happens down the road, vehicle change, whatever. Like I'll have like that suspension, or like I could resell, I don't know. But there's just not enough room for it, and like the ride itself isn't that bumpy. It's just the seat itself, the old seat, is just, there's like no support. It's like it'll kill you. But that one, I sat in it, it's very comfortable, and I still have to adjust. Like you have your thigh length, your lumbar, like your tilt, everything is adjustable. Armrest, headrest, 4-way. So it has all that good stuff. And also for the lumbar, you can add air to get it like just right. So I'm gonna be happy with that, minus the air, well, the mechanical suspension that it has. So I'm gonna take that off. We're gonna get this mounted, and we shall be done, maybe. Oh yeah, there is enough room on the base for the slider to mount onto. Like I may have to drill some additional holes, but there's enough surface area for the slider and everything, like to mount. Even if I was able to use the mechanical suspension, there's enough surface area for that. But to remove the seat, I have to remove these bolts right here. It's like a double bolt. It's a cap bolt on the side, so you have these 2 nuts for each portion. So to remove the seat itself, those bolts, and then under there's another bolt that'll have the slider. So I'm going to take the slider, I'm taking the seat, and we're going to leave all this stuff by itself. So I just have to remove that, and yeah, so unbolt, and it'll be out, and then we could get that in, get it mocked up, and get some holes drilled if need be. But we're definitely saving a lot of weight, and I'll actually pull out my scale so we can see how much like the mechanical suspension actually weighs. So yeah. Measure twice, cut once, or measure twice, drill once. But I'm gonna get, oh, you're over here jamming, huh? So, so it's mocked up, it's centered. I'm gonna go ahead and just get one hole started, get a bolt in there, get that mounted so that way it doesn't move. When I mark the other holes, I'm gonna use a center punch just to make sure we get our holes right where we need them to be. And the reason why I'm doing that is just for ergonomics of the steering wheel holding it. I want the seat centered. If I put it off center, like the holes will line up, but like it's off to like to the left or the right, and I want it like center with the steering wheel, just for ergonomics holding the steering wheel. I don't want to be like off center. So I'm gonna make that center. I'm gonna get these holes drilled, and I'm gonna get it mounted up so there's enough surface area so I can make these holes without any issue. So I'm gonna get all that stuff out, get these holes in, get this mounted, and we shall be done. The test fit, it felt like it was in a good spot. It felt comfortable. Everything should line up. The seatbelt also, like if I did mount it like off center going to the passenger side, there's interference with that. If I have it go off like to that side, it's fine, it's clear. But with the armrest, there's going to be some interference just with this door. So the door won't be able to open as wide as it was before, just because the seat's a little wider. And the armrests, they come out a little further. So that's going to be like the only interference thing, but like you still be able to get in and out of the van easy. It comes to about like right here. So you still have like plenty of like walking room to get back there. But just for the magnet, like stay, like that won't be doing anything. Like unless I do like a 2x4, have it come up and have it extend out, and then it'll be able to hold that. So like I can modify that at a later date. But enough talking, more action. Let me get drilling, let me get this mounted, and let's get this done. All right, before we throw the seat in, let's get some weights. We're gonna get the mechanical cushion just to see how much it actually weighs. I have the scale zeroed out right now. So that's 51 pounds that we didn't put in. And then let's actually see a comparison for the seats, the old seat versus the new seat. The new seat is heavier. It has a lot more going on, going from leather. We're going from pleather to leather, and also the new seat just has a lot more adjustments to the old one. So let's actually see how much they weigh. So we're at 50 pounds on the mechanical base that we're not putting in because I don't have enough room for it. We'll call that 27. And now for the new seat. And we'll call this, it's about 57. So we gained 30 pounds with this seat versus the old seat, but it's all about comfort. And bada boom, bada bang, it's in, it's installed, it's finished. It's good. I just need to like clean. I need to actually like clean and like detail the whole interior. Like I said before, if you're watching the previous videos, it's just been a lot of like drilling and sanding and all types of crazy stuff. So it's kind of pointless trying to clean for it to just like get dirty again. But for the cab, I think like majority of like the drilling and stuff should probably be done, so I could probably like detail, but like I definitely need to clean like that seat, like if I'm going to be riding it. Like when I got it, it was just in storage, so it's just really dirty and it just needs to be cleaned. But like all like the leather and like the bolsters and stuff, they're all intact. They're like, it's pretty much brand new, just been in storage, so it's dirty. But this is all the stuff that we took out, that we're gonna leave out. And I just need to, like I said, just clean up. But like that seat's gonna go, the old seat's gonna go in the trash because it's worn, it's beat to death, so it's pointless keeping that. But the suspension stuff I'm gonna hold on to for now. I'm not too sure how long I'm gonna keep it, if I'm gonna keep it or if I'm gonna try to like resell that or what, I don't know. And then these are the old sliders that came out with the old seat. And yeah, so the driver's seat slash captain seat slash, I don't know, pilot seat is done. So until next Wednesday, be the captain of your own ship. Peace, TJ.